So what I'd like to talk to you about now is nutrition and people's mindset around nutrition. And what I've found is that most people are like light switches. You're either on or you're off. You're at 100% or 0% and off the wagon, as they say. So let me explain a little bit about that and think about this for a second. When you're at 0%, how do you generally feel? Pretty crap. When you're eating a load of rubbish, you don't feel great. What I found is as well, is when people are eating really well or clean for a prolonged period of time, is that you feel really good most of the time, but then you do get those moments where you feel like you're missing out a little bit. It might be going out with friends or a meal with your partner, but you feel like you're missing out, so it can make you also feel a little bit crap. So what you do is you turn the light switch off, go back to eating rubbish, and generally what the behavior is that all people eat well for about 10 to 14 days and then revert back to eating crap for about 3 weeks, and then you feel crap again, so you bounce back to being perfect. Now, what we must do is establish what we call the baseline. Now, where are you going to sit most of the time? And if that's at, say, 50%, that's okay. But what we must accept then is something called cause and effect. If we eat at 50%, we must appreciate that we're only going to get 50% of the results that we think we should achieve. Now, this is okay. We just have to accept it. 50% effort yields 50% of the results. What I believe is that most people can sit at 70%. So that's 70% really good and 70% off plan to enjoy some other things. Now, people can be lean all the time and they can operate at 100%, but most people aren't willing to be that disciplined. So what we need to do is choose where your baseline is. Where are you going to be? And I believe that for most people, it's at 70%. Now, what the trick to being healthy is not perfection, but consistency. If you're perfect for 10 days, but then terrible for 21 days, which way is the scale going to tip? It's going to go down here, isn't it? All the way to 0. So sometimes you may go to an event and you might drop down to 20%, and that's okay, but you must then get back up to your baseline of 70% as quickly as possible. That is the difference between someone getting long-term fat loss and health results and someone who keeps yo-yoing from 100% back down to 0% and feeling terrible most of the time. Now, what you need to do is look at the baseline which works for you. Establish where you are now, but more importantly, establish where you're going to stick to and stay consistent. Consistency beats perfection.